Almas bonitas. There is a very difficult subject to talk about. This whole demon cultivation that has been happening for since before Christ, well, way too long in this realm. Now, the divine feminists that have been in hermit mode and not sexually active for over 7 years, you know exactly how much you have to sacrifice to work on yourselves and how much work you have to put on yourselves. I mean, 7 years. It's a lot of time. A normal, non-conscious person would never do that kind of work on themselves. And these dark practitioners, all of these fake leaders, these fake systems, these governments, these fake kingdoms. Now these pathetic excuses who call themselves leaders but are unable to fight their own battles, they have to send all the children to fight their own wars. That's not what we would call warriors. Our ancestors would never do that. They never would allow it either, because every king, every true leader would be in the front line of every war. That's a true leader. That's what a leader is. You don't send other kids to fight your own wars. Not only is that the sign of a weak and a fake leader, it is pathetic, it is disgusting, and it will never be recognized as a leader by a true, genuine warrior. You will never be seen as a leader. We would value more that dog that's barking out there than someone who's dressed all nicely and sends all these kids to die because they are unable to fight these wars in the front line. You're a shame to our ancestors. Anyway, now these systems are already collapsing, but it's not enough. We need a justice system that works outside of the universe, because the universe cannot put an end to this on its own, not because it's weak. We all know how powerful the light is, but it lacks the cruelty. It lacks the cruelty to put an end to things. The new guardian of the universe is both light and darkness, and this one, it's building a new justice system that can put an end to things. For this to work, all of those who have been working on yourselves for over 7 years, report directly to the sun. Have your ancestors give the list of all your enemies. Everyone that has come after you ever since your ancestors have memory should be on a special list. And this list is not going to be kept in the heavens. This justice system is going to work outside of the universe and outside of sunlight, outside of celestial energy, outside of celestial jurisdiction. This is the justice system of darkness, of the underworld, or in between. Now, the best thing will be to actually give this list directly to the guardian of the universe. Let me explain why is this law so important. The gravity of this mockery, the gravity of this extraction of sacred energy, and it has been happening for way too long. This is bullying, this is injustice against every divine worker. That's why it is now a necessity to build a new justice system. Okay. When you have worked for over 7 years, up to 15 years on yourself, purifying, healing, expanding, evolving, transcending, your energy becomes source energy. Your energy is so precious, so sacred, that it can heal any type of illness. Things such as cancer can be healed. Infertility can be changed. We can create sparks. We can create consciousness. We can create new souls on the right hands with this precious energy. That's why these demonic freaks of nature go through any lengths to harvest this precious energy. They will never do the work, and they will never be able to make this kind of energy. And let me put a very easy example. See how disgusting the life of every artist is, every actor? Those who are always in cameras in Hollywood. These freaks have a lifestyle so disgusting that they could never have that kind of beauty, that kind of wealth, that kind of magnetism, if it wasn't because they are actually stealing this energy, sacrificing animals, children, and earth angels. This is nothing new, obviously. What's new is the system that is going to put an end to it. Everything else is ancient. Now, when you have such precious energy and it has been stolen from your bloodline for entire lifetimes, entire generations, now we have to do something about that. Not only it is time to put an end to things, it is time to claim everything. But that whole thing is going to be taken care on the unseen. Now that you understand the gravity of the situation and how precious your energy is, for example, in my case, I am a 45-year-old man who has never had an active sexual life, have never had a girlfriend, children, wife, none of these kind of things. My energy is sealed. My sexual life is sealed. If someone like that is unable to do something when they only concentrate, put all their energy in their work, their education, their evolution, expansion, and transcendence, it's because there is something wrong, and it is behind the scenes. It is at an energetic level. It's not normal for someone who works like that, lives such a life of purity, to be unable to actually live his own life. Unless he finds out. It has taken me quite a lot of struggles to find out what has been going on behind the scenes. And now I know what to do about it. That's why this system is taking a while. It's gonna take a little bit more work, but it's coming online. It is becoming complete as I speak. And you can see how things are collapsing already. And yeah, let's start this. This has to end one way or another. And by the way, if someone such as myself with a physical vessel disappears, don't stop. The reason that being is because I have worked so hard on myself day and night in this lifetime. And we're speaking of a soul that's been around here, reincarnated all since the time of the Sumerians. Picture the creator Enki. Picture the one known as Shiva, and many others who were creators. But it is the same soul reincarnated over and over and over and over throughout over 1,000 lifetimes. So I'm not new. I wasn't born yesterday at a soul level. And I am not here to play games. I don't mind not having been able to live my own life if it's for a good cause. Because this has to stop. Not only because I love women, no. It goes far beyond that. I understand the value of that precious, sacred, feminine energy, the soul energy of the divine feminine goes beyond what I can describe with words. And we have to protect that. We have to do something about this. And that something is putting an end to this whole demonic cultivation. Let's start.